Hello, welcome to the part 2 of our Java E7 Rookie to Rockstar tutorial. Like I said in the last video, we're going to be using problem statement approach, or what you can call case study approach, where we have a problem before us, we will analyze it together, and we will write the code to solve it. So today, we are imagining a fictitious software technology, our company, which is XYZ Technology, has just been contacted by a mom and pop store. A mom and pop store is just a supermarket, a small store in the neighborhood that is typically owned by a single family, the mom and the dad, and a few attendants, basically most times girls. So this store has contacted us to build a web application to manage the store, which basically means the attendant can log in and log sales. The admin can view histories and all of that. So we're going to be analyzing this problem and we'll provide solution to it along the way. So the first thing is to talk about the admin function, because the requirement says the admin will be able to access anybody under administrative role will be able to perform the duty of the sales girls that are termed attendants, and be able to perform other functions that the attendants cannot perform. Which basically means an admin person will have some sort of dual roles, while the attendant has a single role on the system. So what are the roles? We'll be able to log in, complete our profile, create new attendant or register new attendant on the system. When they employ new staff, they'll be able to set them up on the system. Then view the list of attendant, block and unblock if they need to, you know, block or unblock any attendant on the system per time. They'll be able to create and update products, set prices for the product. They'll be able to log sales, because typically in the mom and pop store, the admin staff can also sell. They can also log sales. It's not a big store. They may have like two or three, four point of sales where they have attendants somewhere, and if any attendant is not around, the mom or the dad can also fill in to log sales under his or her own account. So they're able to view sales report per attendant and per date. Then the admin can also view his or her own sales history by date. They can export sales history to Excel, PDF, and all that. Log purchases when they buy from the market, they log it on the system. So then basically the attendant will be able to log in, complete their own profile setup, and be able to upload emails, log sales, and view their history. Don't forget, every function that the admin or the attendant will be able to perform that I've listed there is for me to be able to teach you what technology in the Java is that will be able to perform these functions for us. How do we handle situations like this? So it's not about the application we're going to build at the end of the day, but about you understanding which technology will suit a particular function or a particular need in this training. So look at it very well. Under this part, I'll be able to teach you, log in with teacher security. Then we'll be able to see how to export to Excel or PDF, and how to perform querying, searching using criteria query API and all of that. Then or file upload. I'll be teaching you how to do image upload and make them available on the web page instantly. I'll be teaching. So then what are the other requirements that are not listed in the requirement document given to us earlier? By our policy, because the policy of the company XYZ Technology is that, okay, every application what we build must be scalable, because we hope the store will prosper and grow over time into thousands of attendants across the country. So shall the application that we're going to build for them be able to handle the volume without affecting the performance? We want to build a scalable application for them, that no matter the number of attendants, the number of users on the system, the application can scale over time. Then the application has to conform to modern architecture so that it's easy for us to maintain. When we build the application for them, we will still be the one to maintain the application over time. So we don't want a situation whereby it becomes very hard to maintain as the application grows, as we have more requirements. So we want to be able to we must conform to modern architecture. Basically we're going to stick to MVC, like I explained in the last video. So we can change the presentation layer. We can, without having to change the whole application. JavaScript is everywhere. We might not want to use GSF for the presentation anymore at any time in history, we'll be able to change it to JavaScript or maybe Angular JS, using Bootstrap and all of that without changing the whole business logic or other logic in the application. Then we want the application to be highly secure. Security is very key. We don't want a security breach that will cause the store a lot of money as they grow. So we're going to implement site security using the Java EE security standard in terms of authentication and authorization. We will not talk more about non-repudiation or data integrity using SSL and all, but we talk a lot about authentication and authorization within the system. So, excuse me, sorry. So now next we are going to deep dive into the application. We are going to create the application in the NetBeans IDE. Then in the next tutorial after this, I'm going to be modeling the entities. So we see how do we analyze the whole problem statement and model out the entities and their relationships, you know, in our application. Then we'll create connection pool in Glassfish, create data sources for Glassfish and Wi-Fi, and as we move on. So then after that, we create the JSF pages, lay out the components, wire them to the backend using manage bin or CDI bin, and we configure the security, configure the application to use the security realm. We just configure it in the server and all that. So now we're going to move to live coding, but before we go, I will put the code on GitHub so you can check it out on GitHub using this URL on the screen. So now to live code. Now my NetBeans ID is already started, so I'll be open. Then I have my application server already started. The Glassfish ID, Glassfish 4.1 is already started. We're going to be deploying the application. I'm going to create the application now. So let's start. I'll click on the new project button. Go to Java web application. Then I'm going to call this application Store Manager. So and it's going to be in this folder. Click next. I'm using Glassfish Server 4.1, so I'm selecting it, Java EE 7 web module. I have other Java EE 2, but I'm sticking to Java EE 7. This tutorial is about Java EE 7. So click next. We are using Java Server Faces, JSF, like I explained. Don't worry, over time I will explain all the components as we move along. So this might take a little while to set up the server library. We're sticking to it here. So click finish. Like I said, we will be adding parentheses to our application, but for now, let's examine the folder we've just created. Now, let's go to application. We see my store manager here. The IDE has created a page for me, which is basic. It's a HTML page. It says hello space like. So let me change this title to reflect what we're trying to work on. So I'll just say store management system management system. So basically we have this page created. Now what are we going to do? I will just because this tutorial, I will end this tutorial now so that in the next tutorial I can start by creating the entities and modeling them. But before we go, let's create the artifacts of our project. We need to create some folders. Let me start by creating the first folder, which I'll call admin. Inside this folder will be all the pages the administrator will be able to access. Okay, so our security will be based on this folder. We will secure this folder to make sure that anybody that will be able to access the any resource in this folder has to belong to the role of administrator. So another folder I'm going to create is attendant. So attendant means this folder will simply host all the pages that will belong to the attendant. Anybody with the role of attendant will be able to access this folder or the resource or the pages we're going to be creating in the folder. But don't forget, the administrator will have the right to access both folders, the attendant folder and the administrator folder. So by the time we're configuring our security, I will show you how to do that. Then we're going to create another folder which is very important for us to create in Java EE 7 application. The folder is resources. Please mind the spelling, just spell it. Make sure you spell it resources the way I spelled it here. Is very important. So inside the resources folder, we will create 3 more folders. Like I do, anytime I'm starting a new project, this is the route I go through. So the first project, I'll call it CSS, that will host all our CSS files that we'll use in this project. And second one, I'll call it to be images. Then the third one, I'll call it JS. Okay, all these 3 folders, you can call them whatever you want. Just know the name you're calling them. You can name them anyhow. But this particular folder, you have to name it resources. Over time, I will explain why we need to do that. So it has to be resources folder in our application. So let's examine other artifacts that the NetBeans IDs has created for us. Go to configuration files and click on the web XML. Okay, inside the web XML, you will see all these parameters. For example, our session timeout is there 30 the is there 30 minutes. We can set, I like to change my session timer to 15 minutes. Okay, now this is a servlet URL that we're going to be calling. I would like to modify this part. Don't ask me why, just do as I do. So I will change it. I would like to change it to, so I can remove this guy from here. Don't worry, as we go on, you will understand why I did it, but for now, just accept it as it is. So basically, you can see all these things you will understand as we go along. The way I will explain some. Inside this file is where we are going to configure our security and other things. So we can test our application. Let me change what is seen on this page. I would like to just put this store management system here, so that when we load the application we can see. So let me put H1. Okay, so that says welcome to the world's #1 store management system. Okay, basically. So I would just like to center this on the page. So let me put center. Okay, good. So we can run this application to see what we have now. So I'll right click on the project and click run. This run will deploy the application first in the server and then display to us in the browser. So let's wait for a while it runs. You can check the progress under your output. Now, welcome to the world's #1 store management system. So with this, I've come to the end of the tutorial. We have not done anything. But in the next tutorial, we will be modeling the entities and their relationships and how, and from there we'll proceed to writing the classes and a host of other things as we have seen in the slide. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and write comment. Let me know what you feel about the tutorials and anything you want me to explain further, or what you don't want me to explain anymore on the in the videos. Thank you very much. Bye.